Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So, today we're going to be talking about wealth combinations, wealth yogas, and what they are and how they're formed in a birth chart. So, if you like my videos, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me and the channel. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. Alright, so we're talking about wealth yogas, or Dhana yogas. Yoga just means combination. So these wealth combinations, these wealth yogas, how are they made? Well, the houses that show wealth are the second, the 5th, the 9th, and the 11th houses. Now, why do these houses show wealth? Well, the second house is earnings and savings. The 5th house is speculation. That's gambling, stock market. It's like any, gains that aren't coming through a reliable source, basically. Now, the 9th house is the house of luck and fortune. And the 11th house is the house of massive gains. Hopes, wishes, desires. So, we see that these are the houses of wealth. And when they interact with each other, we see that those create wealth yogas. Now, another thing we see is when the ascendant or the ascendant lord is interacting with these houses, we also see wealth coming through that. So, how do we see these combinations working? Well, when these planets are, that rule these houses are interacting. So, for instance, your first lord, the planet that controls your ascendant, goes into the 2nd, 5th, 9th, or 11th house. That shows good wealth. That shows you can obtain wealth. Now, when would that happen? That would happen during that planet's Mahadasha, or Antardasha, the major or sub-period of their Vimshotri Dasha, the planetary time period. Now, that's just one way that they're formed, with the first lord. But also, when planets from those wealth houses, the 2nd, 5th, 9th, or 11th, the lords of those houses goes into the first. It also shows being able to obtain wealth through those means that I mentioned. Now, like if second lord goes into the first house, well, second house isn't just earnings and savings, it's also family. So, you can receive family money. 8th lord in the first house can show a similar thing because the 8th house is inheritance. But that's usually not included in wealth yogas. It just alters a wealth yoga that might already be there. Now, also when these planets become conjunct. So if the 2nd and 5th lord are conjunct, no matter what house, that's also a wealth yoga. If they go into each other's houses, so the 2nd lord goes into the 5th house, that's a wealth yoga. Or into any of the other houses. Now, if it's in its own house, that just means its house is good. Unless there's a bunch of malefic aspects. Or, malefic sitting there. But, it's not a wealth yoga, per se. Now, I'm going to demonstrate this using Beyonce's chart. So, let's get into it. Alright. So, here's Beyonce's chart. I've just blown up her birth chart real quick so we can look at it. And I've already rectified it. So, Beyonce is a Gemini ascendant. Alright. So, the first lord becomes Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini. So, if Mercury is interacting with the 2nd, the 5th, 9th, or 11th lords, or sits in their houses, we see a wealth yoga forming. So, Mercury has gone into the 4th house. Now, is it conjunct any of these planets? Well, let's see. We have to look at the 2nd lord would be the moon. No. The 5th lord is there though. So, we see Venus and Mercury are conjunct. It doesn't matter if their degrees are far apart. They share a house. So yes, we do see a wealth yoga there. So, 1st and 5th lord. That would show like speculation. So we can already see that. Now, we also see Saturn, the 9th lord. That's Aquarius. 9th lord's in the 4th house with the ascendant lord Mercury. So that's another wealth yoga. So we see very clearly that there is a wealth combination here, just with the ascendant lord. Now, since we're already talking about the 5th and 9th lords, they're also conjunct in the same house. So, once again, we see a wealth yoga. Now, 9th house shows luck and fortune, and the 9th lord shows that as well. So even if, Venus went into the 9th house, that would show speculation going into the house of luck. Now, that can be good. That can definitely show, good luck in speculative gains in stock market and things like that, in gambling. But 5th and the 9th is usually good for education. Whereas 9th and the 5th would be better for that, because luck is actually going to the house of speculative gains. But 5th and 9th lord conjunct. 9th house is like publishing. So there could also be good money through publishing for Beyonce. We can see that. But this 5th and 9th lord combination definitely shows good money through speculation. So, through stock market, she could be making good money through gambling. Okay. Now, let's look at the other lords. The 2nd lord goes into the 5th house because moon rules the sign of Cancer. So, earnings and savings are now going into the 5th house. 5th house is speculation. So, once again, earning through like stock market, gambling. Anything that's, not safe, generally. So, that's another good wealth yoga. Then we look at the 11th lord. 11th lord is in the 2nd house. Major gains. Also, 11th house is also a house of stock market. Because this is like large organizations. This is like corporations. So we also see 11th house as a house of stock market. But this lord is in the 2nd house. Major gains going into savings. So we see these Dhana yogas, or these wealth yogas, forming in Beyonce's chart. And then we see the Navamsha to confirm, are these still happening? If you see a planet is forming these wealth yogas in the birth chart and in the Navamsha chart, the D9 divisional chart, the chart that shows the later half of a person's life, from the age of like early 30s onwards, then you'll see this person will come into money if they run the major period of that planet. But even during the sub period of that planet, you'll see that they can make decent money. And usually, it'll come through those means. Now, if the 8th lord gets involved with these wealth combinations, you'll see inheritance. If 12th lord gets involved, you can either see the loss, because 12th house is losses, or you'll see investments, because 12th house is investing. So it might be a time where they invest money rather than lose money. When you invest, you temporarily lose money to make money down the line. Sixth house, they might take on debt to make money. Even though these are generally considered bad houses, you can see that they can have a positive influence on a person's money. Beyonce has her sixth lord in the second house. That can show taking on debt. It helps her make money. Alright, so that's how wealth and Dhana yogas or combinations are formed. And I hope y'all like this video. I'm probably going to, teach y'all more yogas down the line. But yeah, if y'all like this video, give it a like, subscribe. Really helps out me in the channel. If you want a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.